This episode is brought to you by Sensi Medical Cannabis House, located at the Pulse Center. Cultivate, elevate, and inspire. This episode is also brought to you by
Lulu's Holistics. Follow them on Instagram at Lulu's Holistics. Check out their website, www.lulusholistics.com. And if you're in America, but you can't really right now because you guys are on a quarantine. But when the quarantine done and Corona stop behave like a little bitch, you can go check out their stores at New York and in Florida. Yeah.
In the meantime, you can use the code FIX and get 10% off your next purchase.
You can now, because you're inside, you can just use a shea butter and just like lather up. And,
because some of your skin I get well dry
ashy.
From washing in a hand. Because I know mine's are.
My hand
mine's are extra dry, yo. Extra cocaine. I'm telling you. So get that shea butter right now. 10% off. The link is in the description right here on every YouTube video that we post. This video is also brought to you by
Lulu's Holistic. No, I said that. Lothian's Boutique.
Yeah, get it
Follow
right.
them on Instagram at Lothian's Boutique. You can check out their store in Portmore. I don't think we're kind of on the quarantine, so you can still get you here. You can still look nice in the house. Why not? Get these Corona babies happening. Lothian's Boutique. Follow them on Instagram again. Check out them in Portmore, 23 West Trade Way.
All right, Sharp Barbers. Big up your damn self, Steve. Located at 9 Brandstrath Square for the sharpest of cuts. Go link Steve at Sharp Cut Barbers. It's the current cases are now at what, 12? As of 15.
Well,
15.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
So it was at 10, and then there were 5 preliminaries that became positive. Preliminary tests, but then the actual tests came back and only 2 of the 5 were positive. So it's 13.
13.
I'll leave it at that.
That's all. People are very distrustful of government and even doctors about certain information that they put out about this.
Yeah.
You follow up like even conspiracy theories about it and
Well, I mean, people have a lot of conspiracy theories. Even today, I was listening about this Rastaman. I say, oh, the government are plan against we and how come Africa don't have it and something. But
Yeah, I heard that too. That was like the first, like when it was just going around, and I said, let's say there's an article. I never really read it fully, but people were concerned and kind of perplexed as to how the virus kind of
came about and
it kind of missed Africa.
Okay.
So people were like, how it not reach Africa yet and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's immune to African blood.
No. I mean, but one thing, just to clear things up a bit, the reason why I was a bit skeptical about that is just that I think there's one more case that's confirmed, but
Yeah,
that would be released
an hour ago. So this has put,
There you
it's
go.
13.
See?
Yeah.
and probably by the time we
the
put
facts
out
are
this,
here,
like
guys.
more probably going to be confirmed.
Yeah.
How you see this thing playing out?
The harsh reality is the government personally I think is doing a good job in terms of trying to control the spread, which is one of the main ways that this virus is really going to get out of control. But they're doing a good job. Harsh reality, as I said in my last video, is that it will spread more persons will become infected. I think generally for Jamaica itself, it might peak over the next 2 to 3 months. And then it will start to trend down. You know, the ministry says that the government, the island may be locked down for 5 months.
Yikes.
Not really sure. That might be a bit long, but we're hoping for maybe 2 to 3 months. And then we'll start to try to get back on track and so on. So, that's basically what I think.
Wow.
Can we clear up some of the misconceptions or certain thoughts about it? There was a thought that it couldn't survive in this temperature and this climate, this tropical climate in Jamaica. Is that true?
All right.
From your knowledge.
Okay. So, essentially, the virus is spread. So, it's a respiratory illness, right? Somebody can become infected. It infects their respiratory system. And then if that person coughs, sneezes or whatever, the droplets from their system can get out and be transferred. It can be transferred from a surface or from shaking hands or
fomites,
right, or just directly from touching an actual surface, right? Now the thing is, it lasts for X amount of time on a surface or in the air if it's being transferred directly or on somebody's hands or face or so on, right?
Right.
No, the thing about sunlight is that sunlight is almost
touch my
like
face. I'm
right.
sorry.
Sunlight is almost like a natural
Sunlight.
disinfectant.
Okay.
The reason why I say is because for some viruses, infections, bacteria, whatever, it can be broken down by natural sunlight and the ultraviolet rays.
Okay.
So it's not that it's going to actually just be killed automatically.
Right.
But for example, maybe the lifespan might be shortened in the open atmosphere to direct sunlight. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for example, if a car is outside and somebody sneezes on the top of the car and it there right over the sunlight, if the virus are gonna last, for example, 10 hours outside, it might last shorter than that because of the sunlight.
Okay.
Jamaica, we're in the tropics, a lot of heat, a lot of sunlight, so that's good. And also a lot of breeze. Might be a good thing, might be a bad thing because the breeze can carry it, go way out over there. So, but at the same time, it can maybe, disperse it a bit more
Right.
and so on. So that whole thing about the sunlight, it can help in terms of the heat and so on. Somebody had asked me, if I might mention, they said, how comes the virus gives you a fever and your body temperature goes up, but yet still they must say, oh, the sunlight, it go dead. The thing is,
I was going to ask a question relating to that. I never know say it gonna sound stupid because we're quarantine. We're quarantined in isolation, so you would think that maybe being out in the sun would help more instead of being indoors. I don't know.
I mean, not necessarily.
Quarantine
I
is
see
to
your
not
point.
spread it,
I know.
That's the thing
but
about
when
the
you're
quarantine.
quarantined, you're inside and isolated.
Yeah, you're
Right.
not spreading it to others. That's the whole point of quarantine.
Remember, even if you're outside in the sunlight, the virus is still in the body. So it's not like the sunlight is going to go inside the body and break it down.
That's why it could be seen as
No, I don't know, man.
vampire.
There's no question. That's a stupid question in my opinion. But the thing is,
No,
though,
I'm frustrated. You're gonna make a next video inspired by a question.
but as I said, persons might have the misconception that the virus gives somebody a temperature and that's a good thing, meaning it likes warm temperature because it gives you a fever. The point is, generally speaking, once you have an infection, depending on how bad it is and so on, the body will trigger a fever, which is a rise in the body's temperature, and that is actually a mechanism to try and fight off the actual infection in the body. Because the heat of the body, it will break down or kind of maybe try to, control
rid of
the
the-
virus or
okay.
get rid of it and so on.
The question is what I wanted to ask, because as Saint Tenara said, this is scary.
Yeah.
Like it is a thing where with like even AIDS, like if you have sex with someone unprotected, if you transfer blood or even like blood really, you can get AIDS.
That's your
HIV.
choice to do that action that
Right.
might result in.
But is this thing especially
HIV and AIDS. kinda
AIDS, right?
Yeah, it is.
Well,
Yeah,
HIV
okay.
slash got to AIDS, yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is though, with this thing, the corona, it's like there is a chance that all of us in here might have it. We don't show the symptoms. I'm not fine, I will go about with day, but then you just walk past an old person and say hi. She dead, and it's like it's scary to think about, and I'm trying to like not make it. I'm trying to bring some levity to it, but I was thinking about it. It really is scary because Nara sent me a link from CNN. We're saying that is the asymptomatic persons. They're the ones that don't show the signs, but they're the worst or
the biggest
spreaders of it. So is in that sense, is it right to look at it as it being scary in that sense where
I mean, the truth is yes.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the main issues with the spread of this virus. Because it has been confirmed that you don't have to show symptoms to spread the virus, And because of that, people don't know that they're infected. And then they become, carriers and they spread it to other persons and so on. That is why it's important to really just abide by all of the rules and restrictions that the government really has put in place. And not just the government, the world, because everybody's really following a list of instructions or guidelines that the World Health Organization is trying to put out. So because of that, the incubation, which is meaning the time period that you don't really have to show symptoms to when you actually show the symptoms, it can be between 2 days to 14 days. So if you have, for example, contracted the virus and you don't know, you can be somebody who spreads that,
right?
even without showing the symptoms. So yes, it's kind of scary to think about,
Yeah.
But it's just our responsibility to know our history. If you know you've been into contact with somebody who might have been abroad or might show symptoms later on the road and you don't show any symptoms, it's important for you to tell the health organizers to control that spread.
All right. So another thing too that I found very scary as well is that they're saying it's similar to flu. So I'm just coming over. I went to the doctor because I was scared. Like last week, I got a flu and I was scared and I was like, Mom, I'm going to die. No. Like, that was what I was saying to my mom because
it's the corona.
Yeah, because it's similar to the flu. I went to the doctor. The doctor said it's a viral infection. It looked like it's the flu, but stay. So I'm like, okay, fine, cool. But then it's like the more and more people I tell, oh, I have the flu,
the more they're going to.
Yeah, it's corona you have. So I'm saying like it's the similar symptoms, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Could it be really corona or is it just the flu? And in these times, everybody's heightened. Everybody's kind of like, stay away. So it's like how you battle that, how you really can know the difference of it being corona versus being just a regular flu.
Right now, personally speaking, you can't.
Wow.
If you have the flu, based on the situation that we're in currently, you have to assume that you have to just backtrack your history and find out why these flu symptoms. You're not sure if it's corona, but my advice right now, if you feel like you have flu symptoms, you have to really be careful because the truth is they're both respiratory symptoms, illnesses. And because of that, it's hard to tell them apart unless you really get tested. Think about it. We've all had the flu before, but not all the time we know where we get it from. The flu is normally spread from person to person. You don't know all the time who give you the flu. You understand? It's the same way with the coronavirus. You can't really tell how you get it. So you always have to just be very vigilant with.
Is it more contagious than the common flu?
Apparently now they're realizing that it is. The common flu, the common cold is really common though. So I mean, I would say but the truth
I think it's because it's novel, it's new, so
it's a new virus. But they're becoming now to realize that it's airborne as well. So it's spreading very quickly. But as you mentioned something about the death. The virus is not a fatal virus.
Well, not for us, because as I say, an old person, like you just say hi and.
So, one of the major scares is that people are dead. It's a new virus. So never hear about this yet. Just a come about 3 months ago. Corona this, corona that. People don't even know. Say I just want flu. I get But it has been killing people. But if you do the research, the people that really are badly affected by this virus are persons who have a weak immune system. And once you grow older, like if you get to a certain age and so on, your immune system starts to break down, generally speaking, if you're healthy or not. But also persons who have lung issues, like underlying lung pathologies.
It's like bronchitis, people who have pneumonia
any sort of lung disease that can really affect your breathing, generally, then you are classified as having a lung issue and it can give you an increased risk.
Suppose you're asthmatic.
Asthma persons, I mean, yes, maybe a smaller increase in the risk. And I know a lot of persons have asthma, so they might be a bit more concerned and so on. But I mean, it's not as bad as, for example, if you have like a lung cancer or if you have other illnesses, like generally speaking, like even HIV. And just those issues that your immune system breaks down, then
What about pregnant women?
Yeah, man. So that's also another issue because
lupus, people with lupus too.
People with lupus, definitely. People with lupus, definitely. Unfortunately, and I mean, generally speaking, you want to protect the pregnant ladies as well. Because you just don't want to take any chances. Generally speaking,
I think I saw a news out there that a baby was born
with it, right?
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to figure out how it was transmitted.
It's UK, right? Yeah.
UK.
So, like, even in these lockdowns, my priest say you might have some corona babies down the line, like 9 months. I'm not like, got people now do nothing.
No, man, as in the mother has to be actively showing the symptoms.
Okay.
And then it would be passed on.
Okay, while being pregnant.
In labor.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Right.
Oh my God.
But it's not a death sentence. That's the thing. The death rate is below, I would say 3.5% at this current time. Because a lot of articles say 3%, a lot of persons say some say 4, some say 3, some say even 2. But it's low.
So you should not be panicking.
I don't think you should be panicking. But we have to
people
be
still are
very
panic
careful
buying.
and also
Buying.
when I say panic, I mean it's still our responsibility to
Yeah.
be careful and so on. But remember, we have a lot of elderly persons around us that we don't even know, or
True.
even a lot of persons that we don't even know if their immune system is as strong as ours.
Right.
So that is our responsibility to say, oh, you know, we don't need to panic for ourselves, but we still have to be considerate for everybody else
Right.
around us.
And that's the thing. It seemed like people, there are certain people out there that say, oh, this is being blown out of proportion and we exaggerate. But they don't seem to take into consideration that this thing is very contagious. So while you might have it and you know break down
Exactly.
health wise, a person you might spread it to
Exactly.
might do worse.
That's
than it.
exactly the point. That's the point right now. Yeah.
So it's just about like looking after one another. Like
Yeah, essentially.
it's
And-
responsible to just
And I know a lot of persons, including myself, are going to really be affected by just the whole lockdown, because everybody like for touch road and like for lime and linger
not
and all
really,
that.
not
Not everybody, but you know
okay.
what I'm saying. The culture in general is a social culture, mind you.
yeah.
But the point is, you know, a lot of persons might be very upset about it. And I mean, it does affect a lot of persons, especially entertainers, you know. But at the same time, it's just the harsh reality
Better
that
safe than
it's
sorry,
better
right?
safe than sorry. It's better safe than sorry. And we just have to try control the spread.
Yeah.
What can people do? There's no vaccine yet. What can people do to combat the symptoms or to build up them immune system?
Yeah. So that's a good question. But even before you get to the immune system, as I said, prevention is the first line. We always have to just try to prevent it. So keep your hands clean. Hand sanitizers is good. Washing your hands frequently. Try not to touch your face as much as you can, because if you touch a surface that is not.
Dr. Coombs.
It seems like the more people tell people not to do that, the more
it's
they
the
do.
more my
No.
face has never itched.
The thing is, you know, it's the more people
In
realize.
They're more
people-
cognizant of it. Say, yo, John,
More cognizant of the fact that they touch their face a lot. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You know, generally
See?
speaking, it's just a thing. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, not touching your face, hand sanitizers, washing your hands, social distancing is now a big term that everybody's going to start using worldwide. Social distancing, you know. So yeah.
I think we can implement this going forward in life. Like, 6 feet apart.
Keep your distance.
Yeah.
20 people
The
in the
trail
bank.
should even dep on the seat here.
Right.
For real.
As you
that
were saying
too
about the
much?
immune system though, you
Yeah.
know, just to answer that, so based on the fact that there's no cure, there's no vaccine as yet, they're still trying. Right now, it's our body's responsibility to fight off the virus, just like the regular flu, you know?
Oh dear.
Because of that, vitamin C is literally like the fuel of the immune system. When you take in vitamin C, it builds up the cells of your immune system to help fight off any sort of foreign body or infection on board, right? So anything that has a lot of vitamin C and also citrus fruits have a lot of antioxidants. Now, infections tend to give you oxidants, which are something that really affects the body and breaks it down. And because
Just
of that,
touch my face, sorry.
yeah, so with infections on board, antioxidants is good to fight it off. So citrus fruits, a lot of fruits.
So you
that's
say,
good.
wait, hold on. So you said that the infection gives off oxidants.
Right, so they're right. So, and oxidants are like harmful to the body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So when you
okay.
take antioxidants,
Yeah, because I see commercials
it?
that talk about like pomegranates or something like that.
right,
They're
so
saying
they're
they're
rich
strong
in antioxidants, right?
Yeah.
So antioxidants
Okay.
are not really good for your body,
Okay.
and so you need antioxidants to kind of help combat that. You
You mean
understand?
the oxidants is not good for the body, so the antioxidants are good.
Yes,
Ah, that's it.
that's what I said, right?
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
So citrus
Clarification.
fruits, good. So grapefruit,
Sourdough.
lime, lemon, orange. Them
Sour.
sort of something there. Yeah, man.
Sour
Them
buds.
thing they're good for your immune system, you know? And then also garlic as well and ginger.
And I said turmeric.
Turmeric is helpful as well. Even vegetables is good.
What is a turmeric?
What? Them have the powder form, but
Excuse
where
See,
you
oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
give her the
Oh,
mask.
God.
Yeah. As it relates to the mask though.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have some masks here.
There's some mask there.
Do these do anything? Do these help any at all?
If they help any at all, the thing
Only
is,
the sick.
if the facts state that it is not recommended for persons who are well to wear the mask.
Okay.
Full stop.
Yeah.
However, the mask can help you if you tend to touch your face a lot. So if you put on the mask, it will help you prevent, or it'll help to stop getting an infected area like a virus or so on and you touch your face, it will prevent that. But generally speaking, it's not necessarily recommended to wear a mask, especially if you're not sick. They usually give the mask, and by the way, it doesn't prevent it from getting the virus, generally speaking, because there's still pockets at the side when you put on the mask, which the virus can still travel down and get infected and so on. But for sick persons though, definitely, because when them cough and so on, it kind of contains it.
Okay.
So
is there a specific type of mask? As I've been hearing, even these masks are not the right mask. Like there's an N95 mask that
Right.
says
best. So that's the thing. So these are what they call surgical masks. So this is what we use to operate upon people, basically. You understand?
I feel like
And
this is good
also-
for like blood spatter. Like that's the only reason why.
Prevent blood from
But
getting.
I like
when
your
you
spit,
operate, yeah.
like your sex scalpel, and like you spit the
That's the
food.
thing. So it actually prevents
sure,
the
I watch it.
surgeon. It prevents the surgeon
Yeah.
from
Put
infecting
it
the patient.
Okay.
Right.
You get me? So yeah. But yeah, so there's another mask called the N95 mask. And the N95 is really to protect yourself from getting infected. And that is actually custom fit. Meaning an N95 mask, you have to have it custom made for the person.
Wow.
So, and then they recommend certain things like you have to cut off your beard and all them kind of something there.
Really?
But I'll leave it there so still. Right? I'll leave
Cut
it
it
there.
off. Cut it off.
But yeah, so
Ready for
they're actually custom made masks for the individual. So yeah, but the mask thing, first of all, them for stop thief the mask. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
People
have
stealing
them
masks.
reports.
Yeah, there are people are stealing
I
masks.
only sit me forget off from my chest, you know.
Right,
I'll be honest
let's
with you.
do that.
The first thing, them robbed the comprehensive clinic must have that 2 days or 3 days ago. Every single mask done.
Wow.
That not right. Because the truth is, the person that are on the front line are the health workers, and them the people that need it the most.
Just talk about it.
If you're working at the health system, if you're working at the hospital, then you're more entitled to have a mask than if you're out downtown or upper Ligani or generally walking on the road or in your car, sit down. I see people in them car with mask and with them windows up. Me just not understand that. Well, unless they're sick, that's different. You understand? But you can't be thieving the people in masks like that. I just think that's very selfish. And may I advise everybody for just, if you notice somebody have some masks when it really belong to them, just nobody support it. That's the first thing. You understand? And the N95 thing for health workers in the hospital, in the frontline setting. The next thing I want to say, if I can right now,
Yeah, man, go
we
ahead.
can jump into this, isn't it?
Yeah.
People, please stop discriminate the health workers,
Let's talk
especially
about it.
the nurses.
Oh,
No, there's this big thing now that nurses are being scorned on the road.
Yeah,
People
like
are spraying them with
Taxi Man and-
Lysol.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Them spray
they're
them?
spraying the nurses with Lysol on the road.
wow.
No,
Are you kidding me? Like they're walking past and they...
let me tell you something. And the taxi man them don't want to carry the nurse them.
Yes, I've seen that.
That is not good at all.
So
Just
them are gonna
imagine
infect
you
the car.
as a patient coming to the hospital and a nurse just come to you and start spray you. No, sir, infection, and start spray you.
Uh.
The nurses,
Malpractice, right?
Yeah, that's them going to be sued and all them kind of something there. So I'm advising everybody, just try support the health workers them. We need the support right now the most. That's the truth. My try to be serious because the reality is it's very sad. You know? We're working long hours, especially the nurses, them, the doctors, them, everybody were there at the hospital, them are work long hours and them need the support. Sometimes them have to go home, them have to make sure we're careful with them don't spread anything to their families and so on.
Yeah.
And remember, not all nurses are in contact with persons who are infected at the hospital. You see me? So it just don't make sense for a random person on the road for just to scan the nurse them.
And the
on
thing
the
is,
street.
they are going to be the people who, when something go wrong with them, I go rush
right.
to the doctors and nurses.
Whenever the
stupid.
general public gets sick, you understand? Them same one I will come now to the nurse them at the hospital and say, nurse, I'm sick. What if the nurse go say, I'm not treat you, because you're sick. Go
That
around
is
this.
why
up.
I always find it confusing.
That
People
was
used to diss
weird.
me in my community. So, dog, so you ever come to my mother about things like
Exactly.
you think some mother gonna do nothing for
Exactly.
you when you diss me, so?
Yeah. So just for really set a point there. Yeah, man. Yeah, a real thing. It's a real thing. Just please be very respectful to the workers them on the road. Just not bother scorn them because they need the support. Nurses them even at the hospital this morning when I go to work, me hear the nurse them talk say, oh, them have to carry one change of clothes, you know. Because
Wow.
them don't want have to wear them white uniform out in the public so people can spray them with Lysol and the taxi man them can carry them. What kind of thing that?
And that nurse uniform was a symbol in an
I, you know, so
honor
as
and
a
pride.
they are pretty much like I come in like some real superhero shit now, cause like them have to change in them superhero costume.
Can't let them know.
Some of the nurses them actually have change of clothes just to go home.
Wow.
That's sad. You
That's
know, so
crazy.
one way take out that now. That need for cut.
But I mean, the kudos on the ministry. I think it's health and transport. Who's
they're
working
putting in to
transport
really
the
try
nurses.
implement certain
Yeah.
policies so that this discrimination can stop. And it's
Yeah.
not just nurses, everybody, even doctors as well. You know, the port of them, everybody who work at the hospital, they're affected. So we just need for us to be very respectful of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
I know you commended the government and it seemed like generally people have been saying that the government has been doing a good job in trying to handle the situation. Is there any other things that you see that they could be doing? Like anything more that they could be doing?
Improve on
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, okay. The truth is, it's still early. It's been a week since the virus touched down in Jamaica, you see
Yeah.
me? And because of that, they're doing all the right things, in my opinion, right now, in terms of trying to control the spread. So the whole limit of going out, social distancing, certain places can't have more than 20 people inside of it. Even the banks, them practicing it, them only letting in 20 people at a time.
Scotia.
That's kind of crazy still, but I mean, you know. So I think they're doing a good job where that is related. Information is still being spread about your immune system, which is also going to be another big role. But the truth is, there's a lot of things that are going to be affected by what is going on right now. So them have a lot of things on them plate. And I mean,
But so far they've
so
met
far,
every challenge.
I personally think they're following the adequate guidelines that the World Health Organization are putting out. So I really can't think of anything off the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
But
One of the
but
things
yeah.
that I wanted to ask though is about testing, because it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's again, I hate to be comparing it to HIV/AIDS, but you know, like they're saying get tested. So you have to go every 6 months, every year to go get tested, check your blood, you're fine. But with this thing is like you have to be showing symptoms for it to be an urgent thing. But wouldn't it be important for people who aren't showing the symptoms, like everybody in Jamaica, to try and get some sort of testing? Is it that there's not sufficient testing available? It's not regular testing, like to go just draw blood and
Well,
find
I'm
out
happy
if
that
you're
you asked that
diabetic or
question.
something.
I'm really happy that you
Pertinent
asked that question. Now, here's the thing. You can spread the virus if you don't show any symptoms.
Right.
Right? But you can also be tested negative if you don't show any symptoms.
Oh.
You can
All right, let me go
test
back again.
negative.
Let me go
So
back
you
again.
have it.
So you can have the virus.
Yeah.
And you don't show no symptoms. So you're in the incubation period, right?
That's like HIV. So you
Right.
have sex
That's
now.
the thing. And you have to wait 3 months to get
You
tested for it to
tested,
actually
it
show.
should show.
So the thing is, if you get tested when you don't show any symptoms, there is a possibility that you can have a false negative reading.
Holy crap.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's right now it's advised. People are still getting tested, even based
Yeah.
on their exposure. So for example, if I am confirmed to have the virus, and for whatever reason you come into contact with me
Yeah.
and you don't show any symptoms, that person might still get tested and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But generally speaking, they're recommending that you show the symptoms based on the amount of tests that we have and so on. You have to show the symptoms and then you can, move on.
So is it where, because they're saying to call the hotline. So would I call the hotline and somebody come to me, or is it over the phone screening? But again, how can they know the difference?
Right. So
If it's like the
well,
flu.
okay. So just to clear this up, I'm not really an expert on all that's
Yeah,
going on
okay,
in terms
okay.
of like what the
Sorry.
government is putting in role
Yeah.
with the hotline and so on. But from my understanding, if you call the hotline, I think you will be advised as to what to do based on what you tell them. So for example, if you tell them, oh, I have a fever, I have a cough, I'm assuming that they're going to ask you a couple of questions. Okay, where have you been in the last couple of days? Were you exposed to anybody? And try to assess the risk of you actually having the virus.
Right.
And then they will take their measures to say, okay, listen, stay home for X amount of time. Or they will say, somebody's coming to you now to collect you and, to transport you to a certain facility and so on. So I think that's what they do.
So
But
you know how long,
can-
like, is it, how long would you be able to find out the test? So the results of the test.
The turnaround time.
So I heard that
Yeah.
it's less than a day.
Okay.
Okay.
It's less than a day apparently. Yeah.
And how them do the test? Yeah.
It is a nasopharyngeal swab.
Okay.
Meaning them stick something down your throat and them swab it and then them send it go lab.
Oh.
So it's not like
Or
a blood
stick
test
something in your nose.
or stick something down your nose, yeah. So
It was like a DNA test.
Kinda. Yeah.
I think a lot of persons would be like afraid to
Yes.
because
Because you don't want
or
to
to
be-
call and say, hey, I think
think
I
I
have
have
it.
it. Yeah.
Because them here quarantine, isolation, all of them something.
And they don't want to be the person that
right. So everybody are chat down here. Your fault.
that seems
like
to be
what happened
happening
to
now.
the patient,
patient zero.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that is one of our issues in Jamaica. Because the truth is,
Now I'm afraid.
and I think that's what happened with that guy that ran away. Because you notice he came back and they were like, oh, yo, you have to quarantine yourself. The man said,
Oh, the one who go run and go.
you know, one
go
feeder
fucking
or white
girlfriend
feeder
and
or
then.
something like I don't know that case,
No,
you know.
fucking girlfriend and then.
So,
We don't
that thing go do
so the point is, yeah, people are afraid of quarantine and being locked down for 2 weeks and then
I
kind of
don't
thing
mind the quarantine. I just don't want to be. I don't have the label that
that you
you're the
oh, yeah.
corner girl.
Because it's
Yeah.
like a person say, oh,
The
car first.
stigma. You know,
And then you have other people just.
Like that a play for real.
so you don't want the stigma to be attached to you. But that's
Right.
that's an issue. That's an issue, yeah.
yeah, other people them
I think-
afraid for the hospital. Them now want their own other people.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, you know, it's like, oh, like, so fine, you go X place. It's like all those places that you go, you're definitely
Right
going to
off.
have to like quarantine those places.
And then
You don't
people
want
free.
to be responsible to like shut down. So I'm thinking that we need to find a way to get everybody tested, just everybody as much, even if you don't show the symptoms, to get tested. And I mean, without even having to call the hotline, just go to your nearest health place, clinic, doctor,
Facility.
whatever. Get your swab and find out.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, these things cost money.
I mean,
So you don't really want to
true.
Test everybody
And
unnecessarily.
then again, the clinic
just to
them
be safe.
crowded now. Like
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
driving past one on Riddles Road this morning, line way a gate, and the place
Yeah.
not open yet.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's another thing. You know, we try to encourage persons, you know,
Yeah, the health
if you
system is
know
gonna be crap.
the health system is crazy right now. Crazy. It's on lockdown basically. So if you're really just not sick, like if you're just querying about something that you had like from last year, is not the time.
Like,
No, it's
That-
not the time.
If
But
you
you
feel like you
know what? It may be
you
the
feel
time
like you have
because
gas in your
suppose
back.
it is the one that reduce
No, well, as,
your immune
Drink
system,
some
like the
tea.
thing that you had last year, like the cough, the nagging cough that you had from last year. You find out, oh shit, you had pneumonia, and then
yeah,
this
well, I
thing
mean,
going around.
everything in consideration. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But the truth is, all hospitals are now working on protocol, meaning if you're not dead, there's a list of protocols for you to actually be admitted to
they're
hospital.
prioritizing.
Everything is priority. Like I think right now, even in the clinics, if you don't have cancer, you have to come back in a couple of weeks time.
John.
That is how bad it is. Like it's real because
But what my ears not get clogged in this.
yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean,
Yeah.
it might not be that extreme, but I'm just saying
Okay.
that's just an
Yeah.
example. You know, there's certain things that they're looking out for that to say, oh, if you don't have this, if you don't have that, if you don't have that, stay at your yard. You have to come back because the place we try limit the amount of exposure to this virus.
Right.
Bottom
I
line.
know we don't want to preach doom and gloom, but we have acknowledged that things are get worse. Are we prepared for the storm here in Jamaica? In your opinion,
It's hard to prepare. It's hard to prepare for something like this. That's the
our
truth.
hospitals, medical facilities, are they prepared to handle?
I wanted to have
the
that question with you
increase?
off air because I mean, even America, I know no, with everything with this whole Trump age, I've been glued into American like culture and like facts, and I know that if they have even them literally they have less than 1 million bed, I think, or 1 million bed, so them can't even take 1,001,000 people because if them take 1,001,000, them health system crash. So I'm like, with us, that's America. With us, like
The thing is, what I would say is that I think that is why right now we're trying to control it.
yeah.
Right.
So where we are now, we're good.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really important to try and keep it to a certain limit and a certain point, and that is why it's the responsibility of everybody to just be mindful of your history, your sickness, and just do the right thing. You know, in terms of being prepared, as I said, it's difficult to really prepare. The government, I think they're trying to put away certain, money and whatever
Yeah.
to try and help. But they're doing a really good job in my opinion so far. I have to really give it to them.
True.
Not just Tufton alone, but
True.
like just everybody. And I've never voted before, just to point that out. I'm not politically related to any person, to any party. But I have to tell you, trust me, I think they're really following.
I said that you tell bro in my jail.
No man.
Yes, with the idiot stereotype, discrimination, stop it.
Overall, I mean, health is bigger than politics.
I hate that
should
in some
be
sectors
bigger
seem
than
like
politics.
people are politicizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, man. Health bigger than politics at this point. So, I mean, the
Even
truth
Trump
is,
has said the Chinese virus.
Yeah.
them doing a good
Crazy.
job, but it's going to be tough if the virus really gets out of control.
Yeah.
It really is going to be tough because at the end of the day, we're a third world country.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so much that we can do right now and no more. But yeah.
I think as you say, it's just quarantine, self-quarantine if you can. Just abide by the regulations because I mean, as you're saying, we're not gonna really know till 3 to 5 months after. I think that's when we're gonna
really
know
going to
the
start.
real test
Right.
is 3 to 5 months after. So that's what I think. I want to ask you though, what you think I got killed with? Like what? No, seriously, guys. I was saying to Jervis, I was saying to Nara in the car, I was saying, guys, I think 2020 is like a symbol as to why people go back to them ex. You know, like 2020 was just that fuck up. And I said 2019, you know, saying not that bad. Him give me one like 10 times throughout the year, but
Hey, just checking out.
2019 is not
this year
that
has
bad,
been
but
very,
it's been crazy.
very crazy.
Crazy.
From the
So
get-go.
I'm like, what? Like you think with everything happening, even with climate change and all them stuff, because I was even reading say like diseases were supposed to be extinct long ago, but because of climate change and what we thought was buried in the ice, it's melting and I can't remember. I have to watch back the Vox video that I was watching. Like come back up. So
Yeah, man.
there's
Let me
so
tell
many
you,
things
we
coming
live
up.
in our end times, man.
Like anticipating.
That's why-
I'm
like,
sorry, I got passed this year.
do you
Listen, our
think
whole heap of sit not going.
that this is it for us as human
No,
hair?
this isn't it. This is
Like God.
no, man,
Prepare.
this isn't it. I don't think so. But yeah, man.
No, I mean not with Corona, but like do you anticipate like any
This
other
year being there?
medical radical mind world pandemic?
I
don't know.
hope not. Like,
I'm not
I
sure.
know you can't
Corona.
really say, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying like it's
I'm not sure, but I
It's
mean,
crazy.
we really have to just. This might very well just be a wake up call. It might very well be a wake up call because, for example, if Ebola, which had a death rate of 50%, meaning 1 in every 2 persons who had Ebola would die, if Ebola was spreading like how this is spreading,
oh gosh.
you know,
Wipe out.
so I'm saying a pandemic is nothing to joke about
true.
at all. So it's a wake up call for everybody, for the whole world, because it's. You see New York City, by the way, right? New York City is on lockdown, you know.
Yeah.
Dead.
It's crazy.
Dead.
It's crazy.
Lockdown, I think this in a crazy sort of way, it kind of make people start do what them been supposed to be doing, like washing your hands after you piss.
Yeah, proper hygiene.
Proper hygiene, like.
what
That's
were
why for
you
me, like,
guys
my
doing
bin
now?
dip on them sort of thing and just increase, and that's why my hands are goddamn dry.
Yeah. Oops, I touched the table. That was my hand.
Yeah.
And then you have to do you when the minister say you have to scrub the
Yeah, man,
bum.
there's a way to
And I'm
stop.
sure somebody have to like him turn
Yeah,
his tongue.
right?
I'm like,
No, yeah,
So,
yeah.
you remember usually in the
Actually, I was
bathroom and
thinking
you
about
just
making a
soap.
video on that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because washing hands is something, it's like a technique that you kind of need to
Apparently.
practice. Yeah.
apparently,
And there's
thought
a
it's
set
just
amount of time that you should do it, not just a
20
quick
seconds.
2 seconds.
Yeah,
or
just
whatever.
people just do that.
But you have to also remember, just for quick demonstration, you see your thumb and your index finger?
Yeah.
This makes up about 50% of your hand function.
Right.
So, right, that is why they wash your hands like this.
Yeah.
And they try to make sure that these parts are clean.
Yeah.
And you go in between your fingers like this and
You
back
know
of
who
your
I
hands
see
and
do
so
it?
on.
The doctors on TV.
Yeah. Well,
You
we're
watch
trained.
it,
No,
Yeah, and then come all the way up to them arm.
no. Well,
like,
that's
surgery.
different. No, that's for surgery.
Well.
So when you're scrubbing, you have to scrub to your elbows,
Yeah.
and then there's a certain way you can't drop your hands. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
surgical
yeah.
talk. We don't need to go there right now.
You see
Hand
on TV.
sanitizers actually, got some people said them not gonna do nothing. Like,
You
they
know what?
actually do help.
I'm thankful that you reminded me about
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that
yeah.
just that somebody said in the very beginning of this whole interview. No, you see, everybody, the hand sanitizer is good. You have to have at least 60%. So if it's less than 60%, it don't make sense.
60% what?
Alcohol. Sorry,
Okay.
alcohol. So
Check
it
it out,
has
check
to
it out.
have at least 60% alcohol for
A
it to
rubbing
be a
alcohol may use at
disinfectant.
70%.
Bay rum has less than that. So people who use bay rum for, whatever, it's not a disinfectant, but yeah. No, next thing. I need to make this point very clear, right? I need to make this point clear.
Yeah.
No. There's a lot of persons. I think the first business that started was Fontana. They're spraying persons' hands with alcohol. It's an excellent job. However, I went to a gas station, right? That the security guard had a clear bottle, right? And it had some blue liquid in it. And there was like a white film on top of it.
A white what?
White film, like
Okay.
soapy kind of thing. I don't know.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, sometimes disinfectants them have some colors. Even sometimes hand sanitizers have colors as well.
Yeah.
Even alcohol, sometimes them look green.
Yeah.
Because them put the peppermint in it and so on. So I say, all right, cool. But then I from the gas station, I just buy something quick. And man spray man, but there, rub it up. Bleach. Me a smell palm my hand.
Oh
Bleach. Me a smell palm my hand and windscreen washer.
You too lie. Oh my God.
Me a smell bleach and windscreen. I'm not even going to say which gas station, You see me? But the point is, all stores are
I
following
think
this
maybe
protocol.
we should as a social
No,
duty.
not just that. I saw a video with a bus. A bus man.
Yeah, I saw
spray
that.
them.
I spray people.
Did
and
you
face
realize
and-
that the bus, the bottle was not see-through?
Mm.
Don't take that for granted.
True, you need to see what.
You need to see what is in the bottle before them a spray your hand them.
Yeah, because there was a case in America where people sell acid. Like, so a woman got arrested because she was selling like acid.
Yeah.
Let me find
You
the
see what I'm talking
story.
about?
Yeah.
This might lead to more domestic abuse cases.
What do you mean?
Like, women might disguise it and say, "Oh, acid."
So you have to be careful. And also certain
No, but
mixtures.
for real,
Because
that's
there's so many
crazy.
different disinfectants now.
True.
So people are mix bleach, people are mix alcohol, people are mix all sorts of some
No.
vinegar. Them think they're toxic.
Yeah.
Them can rotten off your hand. So be careful.
Final word on this. How do we move forward and as a nation and as individuals?
Yeah. Just stay positive. That's the first thing. Stay positive.
I see now the paranoia is growing. People
Yeah,
are
man.
buying toilet paper. Why?
Yo, let me tell you something.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
I'm not sure why either. But anyway.
I
Well,
think
no,
it's
I
because
was-
them stocking up because they may
They
think
must
that.
stay home.
Yeah,
More
I
people
don't
home.
know.
Funny, I was watching they were interviewing Dr. Phil or somebody, I think The View. One
I'm
of the
Dr.
doctor
Phil.
I
them.
don't feel. But
Jen
me know it.
Ashton, I think. They were saying like, it's almost like panic, like
It's like a reflex.
So so people
Yeah, the panic is going to be
afraid
crazy. And I mean, hysteria is also going to be a big thing. People are going to just be panicking, getting headaches and getting chest pains because them feel this, them feel like them have that. And, it's going to be a thing, But the panic not going to help the situation. So try to stay calm.
All the
The more you tell people to
hypochondriacs.
stay calm, the more them are going to panic.
Yeah.
But the truth is just try to stay positive. My best advice is based on what the government is doing. I don't like to go out there all the time. But the point is based on what the health system is working with. The thing is,
Well, the Prime Minister did repost him. How you felt about that?
I felt. I mean, the thing is, they've done it. They've reposted a video for me before. They also asked me before they posted it, so I knew that they were going to post it.
Okay.
So. Well, yeah, man, it was a good feeling. I appreciate it. But the point is, what they're doing in the system, the health system, I think they're following the adequate guidelines. So I think it's our responsibility as a nation to really abide by it. Stay positive. Try to follow all the restrictions and the regulations. Try to stay clean. Wash your hands with soap and water. If you don't
Thoroughly.
have soap,
Thoroughly.
use hand sanitizer with alcohol that is over 60%. That will really be the disinfecting part of it. Just be our brothers, have a responsibility for yourself and also to others, your neighbors and so on.
Don't discriminate against the nurse.
Yeah, man. Don't discriminate against the nurse, against the workers,
These are
them in the
people
health
who are
system.
When you
going
forget
to
in the
take
taxi
care of
license
us.
report.
Don't do that.
Like,
You
how the fuck do
idiots.
that?
Don't make sense, people. You see me? And yeah, social distancing is going to be a big thing coming up. I'm telling you, it's just going to be a thing now going forward in the whole world.
You think we should keep this like going on after the corona's dead out? Like
This is Jamaica. It's not going to happen.
I'm like Jamaica still
6
love
feet
touch
apart.
and
We're very sociable.
it's like
But yeah, but
I think we
that's
can
the
implement
thing we
these
can do
things.
now. You know? But yeah.
Even work from home, I think we can implement some of the
Yeah,
some of
but
these changes that's happening.
Personally, I don't think we reached that. I don't think we reached there as a nation to work
We're
from
not
home.
modern. I feel like we
In
should
certain
we need to
areas,
get
but
to
not.
that.
In certain
Broad.
areas, yeah, like maybe more the private sector,
Yeah.
sectors, but not the public. Well, I know for me, I can't work from home.
Well, no, I mean
Yeah.
you're an essential.
Yeah. But I mean, I
Essential
don't think
worker.
I mean, the work from home thing is going to be a new thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, because it's never really been implemented before per se. But we'll see how that plays out.
That give thanks for passing through and dropping the knowledge.
Yeah, man.
And wish you all the best out there in the field. Are you upon the front lines?
Yeah.
Fight this thing and all these things. Other doctors and nurses out there. We really have to commend them and give them some strength. You know what I mean? Can get our applause. This is not a Randy Watson.
Yeah, man. I make sure them follow me up on the gram. You see me?
Tell them
Yeah.
where they can follow you.
Yeah.
Even though they want to
Instagram.
reach this yet.
Your Instagram handle weird though, because I was like, wait,
Yeah.
in FYI, what is it?
But then
So-
if you pronounce it,
What feeling?
What is it?
All right, I'll explain. My Instagram handle is FYLIKU. It's pronounced Philiku.
Cool.
Philiku.
last name.
Right. My email address is Philiku, PHILLICOO at hotmail.com. So it's literally just my
Them
name
just
spelled
Africanize
differently. I was the one who just made it up in sixth form. So Philip spelled differently is FYLIP and Coombs KUMES. So I'm just join the two together. Philiku, FYLIP. I've never explained it before actually, so maybe I'll just drop it on the ground because I know a lot of people asking me.
And what kind of name
I've always
this?
liked to keep it a secret, but I mean it's no big deal anyway.
You say your name in African?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Like
and you know the funny thing about it, people come up to me and like, hi fi like cool. I'm like,
Sad.
yeah.
That's not the name, but hi.
thanks, cool. But yeah, you can find me. You can type in Philip Coombs or you can just type in Dr. Coombs. If you type in Dr. Coombs on Instagram, you'll see me. So yeah, and also I'm not really a big Twitter user, but I've started to, try to use it somewhere. I can't really use all the platforms just because of the work and the
right.
studies and stuff. You know?
He's becoming a master.
Yeah,
surgeon.
so
Come on.
Got time for that.
But yeah, man, just keep in touch.
Yeah, man. Will do. Give thanks again.
I have
Yeah,
a
man, no
I have
problem.
gas fees.
No problem.